now arrive at the end of the Parade of Blessings. Let us offer the traveler our... Woohoo! Yeah!
That's a hero's welcome if Paimon ever saw one, traveler! You deserve it, of course, considering the risk you took.
Traveler, Paimon! Finally, I was looking everywhere for you.
St. Molly! Why didn't you come to the parade?
Never mind that. I have something important to tell you. Come with me. I went to revisit the revelations in my dreams as soon as you came back from battle. But I couldn't fall asleep just anywhere. I needed somewhere private. I didn't want anyone to overhear me sleep talk or watch me contort myself into some weird position. Anyway, that's not the important part. It's about Mawika's death. Her fate hasn't changed at all.
What? Didn't you defeat the bad guy behind all this? Does that mean the war...
No. The disaster is over, but that's why I came to find you. I need to know what I'm missing. Where is Mawika right now? Did she tell you?
She said she was going to restore the Night Kingdom. Compared to fighting the Abyss, that should be pretty easy, right?
Easy? Not so much. We can't restore the ley lines without the Lord of the Night. And I'm not sure she has enough power to do it on her own. The Lord of the Night is weak right now. She told us that herself, remember? I'll admit, restoring the ley lines is simpler than reconstructing them entirely, but it's still no easy feat.
True. If the Lord of the Night could restore the ley lines by herself, all Mawika would need to do is tell her we won.
Not even that. The Lord of the Night knows the ley lines better than anyone. I'm sure, point being, this matter is far more complicated than the Archon made it out to be. We need to get to the bottom of this. Mawika has accepted her death, remember? For her to let someone else she must think the outcome of her death. The moment Mawika used the Ruler of Death's power, death was demanded in return. Not necessarily as repayment for her aid, but as a rule. That means Mawika doesn't have to just sacrifice herself to the Ruler of Death. She can still use her death to—
Then let's get going! Where do you think she went? Could it be where we found the source mechanism?
The Lord of the Night should now be able to appear anywhere in Natlan. What we need to know is where the Ruler of Death can be summoned. According to the Lord of the Night, the Ruler of Death is one of the Shining Shades, an extremely elusive figure. Even woven scrolls dating back thousands of years have nearly no mentions of her.
Right! Xbalanque created the rules of Natlan by borrowing power from the Ruler of Death. That means he's met her before! Wait, do you think Xbalanque could have met the Ruler of Death in Cinder City?
It's very likely. After all, Ochka Natlan was built on the site of a—
Alright, then let's head over—
It's not easy to get there, so follow me. I'll take you.
Man, this place really is hard to get to. And, Paimon wasn't the only one who saw that weird thing up there, right? All those eyes inside of it? Talk about creepy.
I believe that's how the Ruler of Death keeps an eye on Tevat. This way. We're almost there.
Look! It's Moeka!
I have grown weary of the endless wait. The fate of this land is of no interest to me anymore.
However, you humans managed to meet the expectations of the heavenly principles. For that result, you deserve praise. Moeka, as the price for using my power, I shall now bear witness to your death. And with you, the war that your nation has waged for more than 1,000 years shall meet its end.
Moeka!
You got here sooner than I expected.
What are you doing?
Closing the final chapter on the plan that has consumed Natlan for 500... No. For the entirety of our history. We've eradicated the Abyss from Natlan, but its power remains in worlds beyond Teyvat. Tremendous. Only by completely restoring the Night Kingdom can we defend against its corrosion in the long run. But the architect of the Night Kingdom is near her end. She lacks the power for such a task. And worse still, if her life force is depleted, the rules of Natlan disappear along with her. We have no need for the Ode of Resurrection right now, but it remains Natlan's strongest defense should the Abyss return one day.
So, you're planning to...
Yes. My plan is to once again place my life within the sacred flame. 500 years ago, I gave my life for the chance to be reborn in this era. A chance to see all my plans to completion. And now, to sustain the Lord of the Night, I will give...
I respect your decision, Moeka. But this method requires an immense sacrifice. The flames of your life force are exceedingly strong. But a life sustained by fire is one destined to die out one day.
I've thought about that. With the Abyss out of the picture for now, the Sacred Flame's power will be consumed at a much slower rate. My life force should be able to sustain it for another 200 or 300 years. Future Pyro Archons will continue to seek new sources of fire. As long as Natlan's legacy endures, The Night Kingdom will survive, impervious to the abyss.
Once again, you place hope in the hands of the future.
But the pilgrimage can replenish the power of the sacred flame. We can give it that meaning. Why shoulder this burden by yourself?
Because I want the pilgrimage to change. The pilgrimage was an essential part of our struggle against the abyss, a grand competition full of promise and glory. But fear and anxiety have been our constant companions. We knew what the consequences would be if we laid down our arms. Morality left us with no other choice. And so, Natlan became the nation of war. This is where Xbalanque defeated the dragons and granted our people the liberation of their flesh. And now, in the same place, I have the chance to grant them the liberation of their spirit. There will be no war, only competition, one fueled by our dreams for the future rather than a desperate struggle for survival. A new future deserves a new meaning, a chance to take a definitive step forward.
Very noble indeed. But what does any of this have to do with you? In my eyes, Malika, you are not inherently special. A child of Natlan among countless others. Yes, the situation is urgent, and the ley lines must be restored right away. But it is too heavy a burden for you to shoulder alone.
That is where we differ, Lord of the Night. You see all humans as the same, but I understand what it means to be a leader. A leader is swift and decisive in the face of reality. Someone capable of making the right choice even when there are no good options on the table. Sacrificing the remainder of my life to help Natlan overcome this crisis. After all, leadership is built on the trust of ordinary people. Without them, there is no Archon. The people look to their leader to make the world a better place and stand up for them when it counts. For that reason, I must see my duty through to the very end.
But what about you, Malika? You still haven't talked about what you want. Is it that unimportant to you?
It's not important, Citlali.